Welcome to the Deep Dive. We dig into the sources so you get the key takeaways fast. Today, we're looking at something pretty powerful. How really personal stuff, especially grief, can, well, turn into art. And maybe even lead to finding yourself again. Our focus is a new single, Love Has Set You Free, by Sanny Veloo. He's an independent rock artist based in Melbourne.
And that's dropping July 9th, 2025.
Yep, July 9th, all platforms. And look, this is more than just a song. We're going to unpack it, the emotion, Sandy's whole journey back to music.
And why it seems to be hitting such a nerve, right, as this sort of soundtrack for healing.
Exactly.
And the sources, they really emphasize how personal this is for him. It's being called his most personal track yet. Apparently, it came directly from this really vivid dream he had about his late father.
A dream. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, it was quite specific. His dad was in a pub smiling with his mates.
Okay.
And his dad was saying how Sanny was, and this is a quote, in the best band of my life and writing the best songs I've ever written.
Wow. That's incredibly moving, especially considering the context.
Right, because Sanny had actually stepped away from music.
Completely. To care for his father, who was terminally ill, wasn't that it?
Exactly. So he was in this place of, deep caregiving and then loss. And then he has this dream.
So what was it about that dream? Why did that pull him back so strongly?
Well, I think it's about how the subconscious can, reframe things. He'd stopped music, probably associating it with that difficult time. But this dream, it wasn't about sickness or sadness. It was joy, pride, his dad happy.
Ah, so it shifted the association from loss to legacy, or maybe just connection.
Yeah, something like that. It reconnected his father with his music, but in a positive, affirming way. Sanny herself said, that dream pulled me back into music. This song lit the fuse again. So it wasn't just remembering, it was like permission or maybe inspiration to start again, a new way forward.
That makes sense. It ties right into those core themes you mentioned, grief, healing.
And rediscovery.
Yeah. And there's that lyric, the really central one, taken straight from a message his dad left him.
That's right. There is no one who can predict the heights you will soar. Even you will never know until you spread your wings and fly.
That line just hits you, doesn't it? Why do the sources suggest it's so potent, not just for Sanny, but for listeners too?
Well, I think it works on a couple of levels. It acknowledges the fear, the doubt. Even you will never know. That's honest, right? We often don't know. But then, straight after, it hits you with this huge affirmation of potential. Predict the heights you will soar. It's not saying you might do okay. It's saying your potential is, limitless.
And it shifts the focus inward, doesn't it? It's not about what others think, but about your own belief.
Exactly. It bypasses external validation. For Sanny, dealing with loss, questioning his path, that must have been, crucial. And for anyone listening who's facing their own struggles, it's that same message, Look inwards, find your power.
And it seems people are connecting. The sources mentioned he's been teasing the song live and online.
Yeah, lots of messages from fans saying it resonates. Apparently someone even recognized him in Kohl's, the supermarket, because of it.
Huh, okay. That shows it's cutting through beyond just the music scene then. It's tapping into something universal.
It really seems to be. It shows how when art is really raw and honest, it can kind of create the space for shared healing. And the lyrics, they don't shy away from the pain. He sings things like, I woke up in tears, I missed you, still been struggling trying to find my feet again, running out of light, truth be told, I've questioned the choices that I have made. That's really vulnerable stuff, that feeling of being lost after loss.
Totally, that disorientation. But then you mentioned the turning point, his father's words coming in. How does the song make that shift, lyrically and musically?
Lyrically, it's like a direct answer to the doubt, almost like a voice breaking through. But you said there is no one who can predict the heights, the full line.
Right.
Sanny described hearing that wisdom again as hitting him like 1,000 thunderbolts. Powerful image. Yeah. It made him realize, his words again, the path will clear when you believe in your power, not your fear.
And musically, how does it build?
The sources point to these soaring guitars. They mention comparisons to artists like Sam Fender or Gang of Youths, that kind of expansive rock sound. So it seems it builds from maybe a quieter, more reflective verse into this big, uplifting chorus. The music itself kind of spreads its wings, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it mirrors the lyrical journey from feeling grounded by grief to soaring with that message.
Exactly. It's a sonic landscape of climbing out of despair, really carefully put together.
It's amazing how something so personal can resonate so widely. And Sanny Veloo's own story is pretty interesting too, right? Born in Singapore.
Yeah, and he was frontman for a punk band there, Bored Fucks, politically charged stuff. They actually got banned by the government.
Banned, wow, okay. Then he moved to Australia.
That's right. Co-founded a band called the SUNS, then fronted MPRA, toured internationally, played with some big names like Fall Out Boy.
So going from politically charged punk, banned by the government, to this very internal, personal healing rock, that seems like a big shift. Is there a common thread there?
That's a great question. On the surface, yeah, it looks totally different. But maybe. Maybe the core driver is similar. Both punk and this kind of personal rock, they're often about expressing some kind of truth, right? Challenging something.
Challenging the status quo or challenging internal struggles.
Exactly. So maybe the target changed from external systems to internal feelings, but that fundamental impulse to confront difficult things, to be honest, maybe that's the constant. And it's not like this is his first successful track in this vein. His previous single, A Brighter Tomorrow, did really well too. Sold out shows, got recognized in songwriting competitions.
Right, so there's a clear audience hungry for this kind of authentic message.
Yeah.
You see it in the numbers too, like that video for warning signs, getting 22,000 views in just 3 days.
Yeah, that's significant.
It really underlines the whole point, I think. How profound loss can weirdly lead to a kind of liberation, a new purpose, believing in your power, like the lyric says, love setting you free.
It's definitely a story of rebirth. For him as a person and as an artist, this whole deep dive, it really shows how one very specific personal story, the dream, the father's words, can genuinely become universal, an anthem for getting back up.
So if this resonates with you, you should definitely check out Love Has Set You Free. Again, it's out on all platforms July 9th, 2025. Runs about 3 minutes, 43 seconds.
And there's more coming. He's got the single launch party planned.
Right. George Lane, St. Kilda. That's Saturday, August 2nd.
And then new singles apparently every 8 weeks or so, building up to a full album in November 2025. So lots happening.
Definitely something to follow.
Yeah. And it leaves you thinking, doesn't it? How can something so intensely personal, born from such specific grief, become this shared source of strength for so many? How does that kind of raw honesty in art actually help us heal collectively, encourage us all to, spread our wings, even when we feel like we're running out of light?
Something to definitely chew on. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.